Welcome to another lesson. In this lesson, we are running our first vulnerability scan. We are going to configure a scan target, run a vulnerability scan against Metasploitable, review findings and understand CVE and CVSS scores. And we'll be doing all of this with Nessus, which means that we have to install Nessus first. This is hands-on vulnerability assessment with a professional tool. So let's dive in. And before we start, make sure you have Metasploitable 2 installed. If you don't have that installed, you can check one of my previous videos where I explained the installation process. Now, to know if Nessus is installed, the first thing you want to do is to run sudo systemctl status, then Nessus D. You input your password, and you can see that our Nessus is active and it is running. If your Nessus is not active already, what you can run is sudo systemctl, then you change status here to start, and you add Nessus D, then you run it. Next, you want to check if Metasploitable 2 and our Kali system are both on the same network. And to do that, we're going to run if config. You can see that this is having 10.0.2.15. And if you come to VirtualBox and you start your Metasploitable 2, now that our Metasploitable 2 is up, we want to log in. So we type msfadmin as the username and msfadmin as the password. Run if config again to see. And if we check ETH0, this is having 192.168.112.3. So what we want to do is to put our Kali on the same adapter that Metasploitable 2 is on. So you're going to come to VirtualBox, then you click on Kali, come to settings, then come to network section here, change it from NAT to host only adapter, then put it on the same adapter that Metasploitable 2 is on. Metasploitable 2 is on VirtualBox host only Ethernet adapter 2, so I will put these two on that. Then I can come back inside Kali and run if config again. And now you can see that the IP address has changed. Now I'm having 192.168.112.4, which means that it is only 4 and 3 that are different in the two IP addresses. Also, I can try to ping Metasploitable to see if they are connected. So to do that, I'll type ping 192.168.112, then .3. And you can see that I'm getting responses. So after that, I can use Ctrl+C to stop it. Now let's access the Nessus web interface. To do that, I'll open Firefox here. Then I will type https://, then localhost:8834, which is the port number. Then you run it. I made a mistake. I didn't add L in my localhost. Then I'll run it again. Now you can see the Nessus interface. Click on continue. Then you can select one here. I will select Nessus Expert, then I click on continue. Now that we are here, next thing we want to do is to go to the Tenable website and try to create an account. We are going to be registering for Nessus Essentials. Because I do not have internet inside my Kali at the moment, I've opened another browser outside my Kali where I can do that. So here is the link here, www.tenable.com/products/Nessus Essentials. Then you run it. You accept all cookies, and now that you are here, you can see register for 30-day free license. So here I can type in my name, and for business email address, you can come here and type temp mail and click on any of this. An email will be generated for you here. So here is an email address that you can use. So I'm using this platform to generate something that looks like a business email address. So I'll click on copy, then I'll come back to Nessus here, then I'll paste it, and I can say I'm a student/instructor, and I can check this and I can click on get started. Now we're asked to check our email for activation code. So you come back here and you can refresh this until you get something that looks like an email here. You can see this. You can see no reply at tenable.com. Open it, and once you do that, you can see the activation code here. So you will copy the activation code here, then come back inside Kali and paste the activation code here, then click on continue. So now we're asked to create a user account. So to do that, we'll type username. I can use Akionde V, then password I can use something simple that I can remember, and I click on submit. Now after we've done that, you can see that it's downloading all our plugins. Another thing you must ensure is that when verifying your activation code, you must ensure that your Kali virtual machine is on NAT. So you must come back here, change this back to NAT. You come to network and you change it back to NAT. It was on host only adapter before, so what I did was I changed it back to NAT, then I clicked OK before I could verify, else the verification would be failing because it needs internet to verify and it needs to download all the plugins. After that, you can come back inside Kali and now you can see that all the plugins are still downloading. This will take a while, but be patient for it to finish downloading. Now it's initializing. You can see please wait while Nessus is initializing. So we'll wait. Now you can see upgrading databases. Now our Nessus is done installing. The next thing we want to do is to log in. So you're going to type in the username. Mine is Akionde V. And you also type in the password. And now this is the Nessus dashboard. Let me quickly walk you through the Nessus interface. My scans here shows all your vulnerability scans. It is currently empty because we haven't created any yet. Also, we have policies here, and this contains scan templates and custom configurations. And if we want to use it, we can use built-in templates. We have all my scans as well, and you have trash where you have what you've deleted. Now you can come back to my scans because we want to create our first scan. So you come here and click on new scan. Nessus offers several templates. If you come here, you can see basic network scan, and this performs a comprehensive scan of network hosts. Also, here is an advanced scan, and this gives you full control over every setting. Also, we have web application tests, and this focuses on just web vulnerabilities. And we also have malware scan, which checks for indicators of compromise. For Metasploitable, we are going to be using the basic network scan. So you can click on it, and here you can type in the name. You can just type Metasploitable. For description, I will just write this is a scan. This is the folder where you want it to be stored. Here we are going to type in the IP address of the target, and our target is Metasploitable 2. We type in 192.168.112.3. Also, you can enter multiple addresses by separating them with a comma. So that is how to enter multiple IP addresses. Leave the rest as they are and come here and click on save. After that, we now want to launch our scan. As you can see here, our scan now appears in my scans folder with a status NA, which means that it is empty. We've not done anything yet. So to launch this scan, what we are going to do is to click on this launch button, the button that looks like a play button here. So we click on it, and that means the scan has started. So a scan of Metasploitable would take around 5 to 15 minutes depending on your system. As the scan is running, let me quickly explain what is happening during this scan. First, the scan will perform host discovery to verify the target is alive and responding. After that, it does port scanning to identify all open ports on the target. Next is service detection. That is, it determines what services are running on each open port and their versions. After all of that, the real vulnerability checking begins. Nessus will start testing each service against its database of about 70,000 plus vulnerability checks. It checks for known vulnerabilities, missing patches, weak configurations, default credentials, and outdated software versions. All of this is non-invasive. That is, Nessus only identifies vulnerabilities but doesn't exploit them. And it is safe, which means that it is safe to run this against production system. Now let's try to monitor the scan progress. To do that, we'll click on this. The host column here shows how many targets are being scanned at the moment. And the vulnerabilities, if you click on this, you can see all the vulnerabilities. The vulnerabilities column shows findings categories by severity. You can see all of the findings. All these are critical. You can see high, you can see medium, you can see mixed, you can see low, and you can see the ones for informational. And for each of the vulnerabilities, we have the counts here. So these are the counts. If you scroll down, you'll be able to see all the vulnerabilities. You can see all of that here. For the ones that are more than one, you can see that it's creating a kind of subfolder or subdirectory for them. You can see that here. Also, if you scroll down and you move to this section, you can see that when you hover on each of this, it's going to be showing you their respective percentages inside the pie chart. For information now, that is having the largest percentage, which is about 74%, low is 4%, medium is 13%, high is 3%, and critical is 6%. And to be honest, that's too much. Now let's try to examine each of the vulnerabilities. We can click on this, and inside you can see the title, which is more like the name, and you can see the description. Here we have, according to its version, canonical Ubuntu Linux is 8.0.4.x, and it is therefore no longer maintained by its vendor provider, which means that there are no longer patches for that. And the solution is that we should upgrade to a version of canonical Ubuntu Linux that is currently supported. The time since security end of life is about 12 years ago because the security end of life was 2013, and that's long. And if it comes to this side, because it is critical, you can see that we are having a CVSS score of 10. In one of my previous videos where I explained CVE, CVSS, and vulnerability concepts in general, I mentioned this. CVSS means Common Vulnerability Scoring System, and it is an open and industry standard framework used to measure the severity of software vulnerabilities on a scale of 0 to 10. The one we are having here is critical, and you can see that we are having 10. We can go back and select another vulnerability. So we can come here, select this. You can see that this is critical as well. If you come down here, this is having a CVSS score of 10 as well. Let's pick another one, maybe something high or medium. Even right from here, you can see the score from here, because if you scroll up, you can see that the column header is saying CVSS. So we can select this to read more about it, and this is the description, and this is the solution, and this is the CVSS score here. Also, for the ones that are having folders, you can open them by clicking on them once, and after opening, you can see that we have 4 different vulnerabilities, and they are all related to the Apache Tomcat web servers. And if we go back once more, we can see that our scan is done. You can see that it is checked here, it is showing completed. If you try and open this again, if you look at the vulnerability section, we are having 10 critical, 5 high, 24 medium, 8 low, and we are having 133 information now. Also from here, you can see that this is completed, and it took 20 minutes. Next thing you might want to do is to export the scan result. And to do that, you can come here and click on export, but the feature is only available in the professional version. So we may not be able to do that because we are using the Nessus Essentials version, which is like the community edition. So you can click on OK. Before we go, here is a challenge question. And the question is, how does the CVSS scoring system work? I repeat, how does CVSS scoring system work? If you check one of my previous videos, you are going to see the answer to this. That's all for this lesson. If you're here to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do that now. Also, do not forget to like, share, and comment. I'm going to be expecting the answers to the challenge questions in the comment section. Thank you, and see you in the next lesson.